story, like me and Sid, I always take a crew of people with me too, because I think it's so important to mix together with everybody, right? All the different styles. Like maybe you learn, I'm going to teach a bunch of stuff today, right? And I'll try to cram in as much as I can. Quentin's going to film it, and then I'll give you guys all the copy of it, so that way you can go over it. That's huge. Usually I used to do it all low key and just have someone film it on my phone. But I feel like at a seminar, I'm only here for like 2 hours, whatever. I want to teach as much as possible. And so you guys, even if you pick up one little thing, it's okay. And then, you know, go over the videos a million times. Like we had John Jacques Machado come out to our seminar, our school, and like he taught 2 days. And like my head exploded. Afterwards, I slept for a few days. I was like, I don't even know what just happened. Like the knowledge that he gave to us was like shit that people forgot was even a move. I was like, what? And I'm still going over the videos, and someone wrote down, I was gonna ask you, was it you? Someone wrote down everything in a book and then forgot it at the school. Is that yours or no? Oh, okay. So I have a whole list of everything. I don't know whose this is, but if no one claims it, I'm gonna keep it. But yeah, like I really appreciate you guys coming out. I know there's a lot of high level guys here. A lot of you guys are trained. I could tell a bunch of, you know, people from your school and all the surrounding schools compete. So I want to show some stuff that's definitely we've been working for competitions. But like I said, I never know what I'm going to walk into when we're teaching a seminar. Like I think because I'm from 10th Planet, people are like, okay, we could just get that guy. He's a random 10th Planet guy. He might know leg locks or some shit we don't know. Let's bring the student, even though they never heard of me, right? And a lot of people haven't. They know my students, Grace Gundrum. A lot of people know her. But they're like, oh yeah, it's the bald guy that's with Grace. Like I know that, I've seen that guy somewhere. He's one of the coaches. But me and Sid, we went to, where was that anyways? What was that name? It was like an hour and a half, still in Pennsylvania. And we drove an hour and a half like into the woods. I was like, oh, this is getting scary. And it was like a coal mining town where it was just one street. And then the instructor was like short and stocky with a beer gut. Every guy there looked like him. Like every single guy. I was like, damn. And then when I shook the guy's hand, like I have baby hands. Like my hands, I'm gonna teach some overhook stuff tonight. I do a lot of overhooking. My wrists aren't big. I got small hands. This guy's hands, his fingers look like sausages. I was like, shit. And I went in there, I thought I was gonna teach all these moves, like crazy stuff, like leg lock defense. And I just looked at the guys and I'm like, oh man, they were tough. And we rolled with them afterwards. Like I wasn't just submitting everybody, and I couldn't leg lock them all, but their jiu-jitsu was completely different. Like it was like he's like, I said, what would be your main style if you asked me? Because I had no idea what to expect. And the guy was like, we just pash and smash and pash. I was like, oh boy, all right. So I was like, maybe no triangles or anything like that. We'll just skip all that. But anyways, let's get into it, Sid. All right, let's do some stuff. So the first thing I want to work on is just some basic guard recovery drills. And Sid, he teaches our little kids class, and he helps me with the kids advanced class. And we start every kid with this because I feel like it's basic enough to where the student gets it pretty quick, and it gets everybody moving at a seminar. And then also too, the kids still use it like crazy, right? Anytime they learn there's 3 of them. The 3 main concepts of playing open guard. And then, like I said, if you ever go somewhere and you're ever forced to teach a class, start them off with this. It's a good starter one just to get people together moving, especially if you're training with someone you never trained before, right? So the guy starts with both of his feet on his hips. Another good one for instead of shrimping down the line. I'm just gonna take both of his ankles, throw him to the side, and I step up to his hip, kind of like I'm gonna do a knee on belly, but not totally knee on belly, and he's gonna put both of his hands on my shin, shrimp away, put his foot on my hip, and then bring himself back, just like this, right? Let's just do this as we're like, I could be drinking a Starbucks at the same time I'm doing this, just to get my partner moving so we can get all accustomed to who we're going with, right? So that's pretty easy. Like I said, if I have to go to like a high school and teach like a bunch of teachers or something, they like ask me to do some weird self-defense thing, I'm like, oh, what should I show them? That's easy. Good one right here. Boom, hit, right? A lot of times people will try to throw both of their legs up at the same time, and then I will just throw them off to the side. So make sure when I do this one, right, he shrimps, puts his foot on my hip, top foot, right? You gotta say this all the time. And then he lets go and then uses that foot to bring back, right? We do this with the MMA guys too, right? Just boom, bang, and I'm always just making sure I'm staying away. Combat Jiu-Jitsu, right? To make sure I can get close enough to him, right? And he's doing a good job keeping that connection on my hips. All right, easy, let's grab a partner and let's start working. 1, 2, 3. Let's do a couple, start getting inverted, right? This time I just throw his legs and just walk over here. Don't kick him in the head or anything like that. I don't want to get too close either where he's like looking at my shorts, right? Just enough, right? So he can throw his legs back, cross his feet on my hips, and then he spins back, right? And then what happens is when he spins back, if he spins the correct way, his feet will stay connected to my hips the whole time, right? If you spin the wrong way, you'll lose the connection, right? You don't want to lose the connection, right? So show him the wrong way, right? You see how his feet fall off, right? I'm going to try to keep him on the hips the whole time. All right, like I said, we start this, we'll do this with the kids, like especially if the kids come in and I can tell they had a long day or someone fed them, like one kid came in the other day and he's like, oh, I ate a whole pack of Chewy Sprees before class. I'm like, oh, great. I'm like, they're going to be nuts, right? So maybe I'll start them with these and just tire them the hell out for a while, right? And they're easy to get. The kids pick it up right away, all right? That one's not bad. Let's try that one. Do like a big switch, all right? 1, 2, 3. Anybody who trains now, like you guys know, leg locks, crazy over the past couple of years, right? Everybody's doing leg locks, right? And I like going against the grain. I like going against what, everybody's putting out a thing on leg lock offense. I'm trying to do leg lock defense, right? I want to defend them all and take it back, right? I've competed a lot. I retired not too long ago, but I competed a lot and I got leg locked a lot, right? I went against a lot of the best leg lock guys. If not, my partner JM, he probably went against them, and we probably got leg locked by him. I'm not gonna lie, right? We've even walked into buzzsaws where one time we showed up in a grappler's quest randomly back in the day, and one of the first guys that we faced, JM ended up having to go against Eddie Cummings the first round. We didn't even know who he was. I was like, I think that guy's a leg lock guy. And he got beat in 2 seconds. The guy was like commenting like, that guy didn't even try to get out of it. I was like, dude, he didn't. It doesn't matter, right? But same thing. I went against a bunch of guys that I really didn't know what I was going into, right? And I got caught in some weird shit, right? A lot of you guys already probably come up with weird stuff. So we're gonna do one of the main ones is single leg X, right? You got to know the ins and outs of when the person has single leg X on you, where to go with it, right? So we work these two a lot with Grace, right? Getting ready for people to just constantly attack her in leg locks. And one of the things that happens to her is when she gets put in a leg lock situation, doesn't matter which one. Let's say it's just Ashi or single leg X, right? And she'll go down here and she's so confident, she'll just chill here and be like, I'm not going to get leg locked. I'll eventually get out and get their back. But what we worked on a lot was just getting out right away, right? I'm not hanging out in the position because in the tournament she's in, who's number one, it is sub only. The women are very hard to submit each other, right? It's very tough, right? The girls are flexible. She almost had to dang near break that girl's arm off in the last one, right? So in leg locks, it's not that they're gonna get tapped, but if this person, right, is the other girl and I'm Grace, I wish I was Grace, she's really good, but if this was the person facing her, they might just hold her in a leg lock situation and just wait there and just hold her. Because that's an attempt, yes, but she's also stuck in a spot. And I don't want her to be stuck in a crazy spot, right? So and she's always trying to pass. She's trying to pass a lot, so how does this happen, right? Take a leg out real quick. A lot of times, she will walk in, and I always say, like, her passing, to me, looks like a Plinko chip, right? You ever see that old game where you drop the thing and it would just hit each side? You don't know where it's gonna go, but and that's kind of how she passes. She would just fall into you like this and then see where it's gonna take you. And then however the person defends, she'll just somehow find her way around and get by in a pass, right? That looked horrible, but it's way better when she does it, right? So a lot of times she'll walk in like this and girls will just put her in this position. And then she would, same thing, she would get sat down here and then just deal with it eventually and then somehow get out and get their back, but it might take, 4 minutes or so, right? So the first one that we work, right, we're gonna go easy, and then this one's an easier one, then a medium one, then a harder one, right? So when I'm up here like this, especially if he has this up right under my butt cheek right here, I want to put pressure down on him. I don't want him to turn my knee. This would be the worst situation right here. I just let him straight up turn my knee out, right? So from here, I'm gonna make sure I get my leg out. I'm gonna go up to, if I can get up on his toes, cool. Ankle, fine. Knee, probably the worst, right? But if I can get to his toes, I'm just gonna push that down and bring my knee out, right? Most of you guys probably already know this one, but I just wanna see where everybody's at with single leg X. And I get my knee out. Now I have a choice, right? What Grace did, right? I was going, come around the back, come around the back. I just kept yelling it to her. And finally she went, oh shit, come around the back. And she got out here, right? Now my choice is I can either pull my arm down nice and tight and then keep working till I get my leg out, and eventually I end up in like a back take situation, right? Which I like, especially, I knew it was gonna be hot. He doesn't have tights on, I don't have tights on. So you're gonna get a lot of slippage here, right? And that's what I want. Maybe I'll even sleep with socks on, Crisco oil, boom, right? So my leg's gonna come swinging out of there, right? And then I can start, see how I turn into him? I think I learned too from one of the Gordon Ryan matches where he was going against Vinny Magalash, right? He just sat on him like this, right? Maybe his knee line was in, I don't remember. But he wasn't necessarily trying to go like this where the guy can pull my leg back in and I'm still in a heel hook situation, right? Once I get my knee to the ground, that's number one. Then I can do whatever I want. You can do these too. Look, I bring my leg across, I turn back and start swinging down, trying to take his back. That looks the coolest, right? I like that one a lot too. But sometimes when I go to kick over, you kick the guy in the side of the head, but in a match it doesn't matter, right? So again, I'm here, I might be holding him, hey, you did it, right? Boom, right? This one is probably still gonna be number one right here. I'll hang in this spot, but I'm putting my weight back on him, right? And then however I wanna do this. If I'm going all the way around, he's sitting up, whoosh, I hit him in the head. But if not, I could just bring my leg over a little bit and then in nice and tight. I don't have to roll for the back take. I can just stay from here and try to, you know, work to that pass. Or I keep my legs tight. So that way when I do roll, he doesn't try to pull my leg back into another knee bar situation too outside, right? So those are your options, right? He's gonna be single leg X, right? If I can, feel it, but if he's on my butt cheek with that other foot where it should be, I might have to give him one of these first and then bring my leg out. And from here, even just side control will be good, right? That kind of won of the match because it's tough to pass some of those girls' guards. They're so flexible. Anytime she get by, they just go upside down, put their legs behind their head. It's hard to pass their guard. Can't get a good side control. But I think where she's doing good at passing, right, is stuff like this, right? She just went from a leg lock defense into a pass. The other person wasn't ready. She might have just got side control into north-south. That was fun. Score a couple points. Or if you want to do the back take, right, same thing. Punch it down, make sure my knee is out, and then that's my choice. If I want to bring my leg all the way around, maybe, right, but they might be defending here, who knows, right? So I might have to just hook my leg, just kick down and go up and get him, and then I'll find the back on the way around, all right? You do each of those real quick, quicker, and then we'll get pumping. Boom, same thing, if I have to, bang, I'm trying to get out. Maybe I'll just get to a side control. I cleared his legs, no more drama in that leg situation right there. Or, like I said, I kick that leg over, kick those legs down strong, and take his back all over. All right, let's try it. 1, 2, 3. And the guy's like, oh. I'm like, dude, why did you wait so long? Get your knee out of there, right? Don't wait so long to tap on that, right? So, you know, you might, boom, and then I'm trying to just turn right away, right? I'm grabbing this foot and pushing it down so I can escape my knee line. That's the number one thing. If I chill here too much, like Vinny was like, he was like looking at someone in the crowd, right? If the guy can bring his knee, my knee back in, however, he might reach through and say, yeah, and pull my knee back in. Now I'm in trouble. This is like what Lachlan Giles did to a couple of guys. He did that guy Muhammad Ali dirty on that piece, right? He brought his knee, he thought he was out. He was like, I'm out, son. Then he brought his knee back in. And then he tried to like spin some weird way and get his leg all cranked up, right? It took him like a little bit, right? So this one, and then eventually you get good, do the other side too, do both sides, right? But I'm on his toes, right? I'm not getting taken down with this one. This way, we'll go over what to do if the person takes me this way, right? But this time, I'm trying to stay on top of him, maybe be punching him. I feel my knee start turning, right? Kick out of this one, just shove that shit down, and then come up. And then on the back takes, right, when I kick my leg over, right, my knee's out when I kick down, so that way I don't get knee barred, right? I could do this, like this would be the 10 planet style. Guys will roll up, and they'll kick this leg over top, right? And then try to put him in the truck. That's what a lot of 10 planet guys do. Go here, try to go for this, right? I found that it's hard to keep people, before when no one knew the truck position, it was easy to put people in the truck. Like, I have no idea what I'm doing. And you get moves on them. Now people are smart, right? There's YouTube, there's videos, seminars, people understand what that is. So it's hard for me to keep people in the truck. And there's not as many submissions from there, right? Eddie will tell you there's 300 submissions from the truck, right? And I'll tell you there's not that many, right? That calf crank, most people won't tap that shit. And you can get yourself armbarred, right? You put someone on a high level thing, you calf crank and they're like, fuck it, I'll just eat it, right? They don't care. Because it's not like a real leg lock. Plus, they don't want to get highlight reeled by shit like that either, right? So when I go down here, right, if I kick out, and I get to here and I go for these back takes, I really want the guy's back. I could go back to the truck if I want to, but number one, I want the back. We practice so many EVIOTs, plus the back is points, right? If you're playing in a points game, right? And when I go here, I don't like to switch my leg. And I thought I never said this, but I just keep my leg straight down like this. Right? And then that way, there's no way. He's gonna try to sit up, and see, I also sit up here, right? If I stay here, there's this common defense, like where I should have his back. He could just come all the way over top. Go ahead. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah. and he's got me in honey hole now. Or a lot of times a knee bar, right? My guy Thor did that big time. You counter him with that knee bar, right? So if I kick my legs down and get up, now he's not gonna be able to kick his hips over anymore. And I'm on my elbow and I'm looking to try to pull him down, yank him to where I have to, right? So let me try one fast mode. All right, so I'm down a little bit. When I'm ready, it's just boom, peace. And legs go straight, and I'm coming up after him. I have to go get him. If not, this guy's smart to roll away. See what I mean real quick? All right, now go back and drill this one a bunch more, all right? Like I said, you got this real good, or actually switch me with you. Drill the other side too. All right, so go ahead. See, guys, start doing this shit. I'm just gonna roll away from him. He's gotta anticipate me rolling. That's for you guys who are really hitting this move, right? You gotta anticipate. I'll just play the dead body and try to roll away and get to this. Sub only, I don't care. All right, go to the 3/4 mount, all right? This one too, you guys ever see this one where guys are like, oh yeah, that's I'll show you a setup to an arm triangle off this, but it's how I defend this move right here. When he goes to roll, I'll just be like, just roll over. He's gotta go get my back. Same with this one. That's why I think you really gotta get up on that piece, right? So, one more time, right? If you're going faster, right? You figure this out and I get to here. When I go here, I have to go get him. Because if he goes to roll, right, go to roll away, I have to stay with the guy and bring him all the way over. That's when you see those cool back takes. You're like, how do you do that? You have to just stick with the guy. He knows a back take's coming, right? Especially on the last one, this is the first one, the last single leg defense we'll do, right? Jimbo, remember I tried it, we learned it, I brought it back where I tried it on you and midway through, you're like, no, just get out of the way. You're like, I don't care what happens, I just don't want that to happen to me. And someone see that, right? So let's go back to that single leg X. Boom, bang, kick that leg over if you want, or you could just simply get your leg out too, I don't care. You get to here and just kick your leg out and be like, I'm gonna start over. Start over, all right? 1, 2, 3. Same thing. A lot of stuff in a short amount of time because I know I'm only here for a certain amount of time, so I want to try to cram as much in, right? Now the next one, this one is the next defensive single leg X tactic I use. It's called the wedge, right? I learned this one from, well, we call it the wedge. I learned this definitely from a Frost Sahabi video, kind of, right? I think he was talking about it, but not really, and then I watched him do it like 3 times, right? It doesn't always work, because we do have one guy, his name's Jared. He's actually a Catholic priest, right? Which is weird. We call him the leg lock priest. It's not weird, it's cool, but it's also like weird that he's so into leg locks. That's what I feel is weird. Like, he's always says some weird stuff to me, so. But he teaches our leg lock class on Saturdays, right? He's our best leg lock guy, 100%. So sometimes, like, there are moves that work on most people, but a lot of them don't work. Some of them don't work on him, right? He's able to get a weird angle on it, right? So single leg X, like usually I'm trying to go with it if I can get my knee out, right? Or like the third one is gonna be another back take, right? This time is if the guy sits you down. So if I was doing this and he sits me down on the ground. Now I don't wanna just chill here, and you'll see people do this. They'll hold the wrists and stuff, and that's cool, right? You might be holding the wrist, trying to get a hold of his arm, so maybe if he goes to pull me up, right? If I can kind of get up here and bring my knee to the mat and then smash out of here, that's cool, right? Try to smash. I'm not good at smashing, right? I'm not the greatest smash guy. When I get to mount or something, cool, right? But when I get down, I feel like sitting there on the butt, holding his arm, I'm just waiting for him to get a good bite on my leg, right? I want to be standing, right? Because I feel like I have really good escapes from here. But if I do get sit down, right, I don't want to just chill there. I want to try to make a move right away, right? So when he brings me down, I'm going to try to bring my body away. So like go real quick. As I'm falling, I'll show you the 2 moves that I'll do with him. So as I'm falling, I'm not going to sit here and try to keep my knee bent like this close. As I go down, as I'm falling, I'm going to try to sit myself away. That little move helps a lot, right? Next one is this, the cricket, I guess, where you're just kind of like going like this, right? And then you guys know the defenses on the feet, right? There's the boot, right? When I have my foot strengthened like this, you're like, put the boot on, right? I figure that's probably happens a lot in New York here. You park illegally all over the place. You get that boot on, right? And then this one right here is ballerina toes, right? So certain times for certain things, right? If he's bringing my foot across to the other side, like if he was in this situation, like just a ashi or whatever, and he goes to bring my leg to the other side, right? I like keep my leg booted like this, and I'm like, oh shit, right? And then when he brings it across, tries to go for the heel hook, I'm starting to put those ballerina toes on, and then I'm working my escape. That's just like a standard escape, and then that's like the cricket right there. I just cricket my way out, and then right away I try to stand back up because I want to be on top of this guy. I don't want to make it up. I feel like it's easier for guys to attack your legs when you're laying on the bottom and I'm up on top, right? Right, dude, it's like, no, you fell back for another leg lock, man. hit the guy in the head with a pan or something. Stop that, right? Pass his guard. But every time I want to get back up, right? This fool's playing leg locks, right? I'm dealing with him in here. So as I go down, right, he sits me down, and I already try to pull my leg out. I always try to just, I'm not gonna yank my whole leg out of here, it's impossible, right? Especially if the guy's got a good grip. But I might have taken my knee line from here to here, right? Better than nothing, right? Then my other foot, as opposed to just chilling here or trying to do some counter that's not gonna work, I'm just gonna put my foot in here like this, right? Now, depending on how nice you wanna be in class, be nice to him, but in real life, if he's really cranking on my foot, it's as hard as I'm gonna press my foot onto his groin, right? Right, it's like, get off me, right? One guy, I forget who I stole this from, he's like, he's after my legs, you didn't even take me out to dinner yet, right? You're already on my legs? We started rolling, right? So he's gonna try to dig for that heel hook, and I just have my knee turned a little bit, right? It's tough to see in here, but it's not like pointed up. That's where he wants my leg right there. My knee is pointed straight up in the air, he's gonna get me. If I let him turn it all the way in that same position, he's getting me, right? But if I can get that foot in there and just break up this, right? What I've noticed on Jared, like he's probably the best leg lock guy, like I said, that I roll with. What I noticed on him and the reason he can get me in this position is because of the clamp of his legs, right? Most people, they're like, they don't even have any like this. They don't have this and my foot's not even in there. The guy doesn't have anything and he's cranking my leg and you could just spin and you'll just see dudes just constantly spinning sometimes, right? But he keeps that knee bent real nice. So if I can just turn it a little bit and my foot's in there, see how it's kind of, we call it the wedge because it's wedging in between. It's kind of like my big toe, take your leg out a bit. See how my foot's in there like that? And this is gonna make it annoying for him. He just doesn't have it right. So when he goes to finish that heel hook, right, I'm just like, no. And then I might have to, right? And then when I cricket my way out, I just get right back up and that might be a good time to pass, right? I just constantly keep the pressure on me. Like, you're gonna keep attacking me. You know, I would've liked to get out the other way or take his back in the slick way, like I said, we'll do next. But it was too late. He was already taking me down, as opposed to just being here like, just see the guy like this, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, you ever see that? Dude just getting hit with it. It looks like he's getting electrocuted. Like, what are you doing? This tap, right? So he's gonna swing me down, and then a little bit, and then my foot goes right in here, right? Now, there are dudes that can still tap you from here, so don't get mad at me if you're like, oh man, Zach taught me this move, and I still got tapped, right? If he's in like an Achilles grip, like a straight ankle lock, that might be another problem right there, right? But then I'm gonna go, if it's too late to go here, and I might have to go here and start to turn, which I don't want to have to do, right? I went against one of the Meow brothers. Did you ever go against?
Yeah, no.
What, Joel? Like, he just kept putting me in stuff like this, and I had to keep spinning. I didn't want to keep spinning, but it was just, he didn't care what he had. He was just, I'll crank on whatever. And I was going to Colorado the next day and stuff. My wife was like, you better not get hurt, right? So I just was like, you know what I mean? I have to go this way and just come back and get my legs out, but then I would just get back up on top. And then he would, you know, bamble, whatever, and then I'd be back in this shit. I'm like, oh damn, foot back in. And then you could be doing this too. I could be trying to push the knee line out, so your hands don't just have to be here. I could be pushing them down, right? And then the guy's always gonna try to swing one, you know? That's cool. I feel like as long as my knee stays out, I might have to cricket my way out. One thing you have to watch for, when we do this, right, my foot's in here, go ahead, and I get my leg out, but then look at this here, right? This is, yeah, you could be put back in honey hole too, right? So that's happened too. You gotta watch out for that other leg. So, if you're just doing it from here, you don't have to do the fall all the time. If you're just, because it could happen from this situation, I could do the same thing. I could go and then just get my knee a little bit out, especially like I said, with all this leg slippage in here, grease, boom, foot goes in, and it's gonna be hard. Kick this, if I have to go here, watch that second one. I just put my foot here, kick this one out, and then like I said, I always stand back up, pick this leg up, and be like, no, you shouldn't have leg off me. Cool, let's try it, all right? 1, 2, 3. The wedge, this one has saved my ass many a time. One thing too with leg lock escapes, I think, and leg lock defense is, it might not just be one. Like I just showed you 2 like easy things. Like if it works like that, great, right? Same with this next one. It's another one. Like if it works like that, great, right? But it might take 2 or 3 times, right? Like I was talking to some of the guys over there. Leg lock people are stingy, right? They're like, especially people, I don't know what it is. Like no disrespect, leg lock guys, but I don't know if it's like a trait or like a, you know, I don't want to say a chromosome or something that they're missing, but you know, they're just like only dead set on going for leg locks. I'm like, isn't that boring to you, man? Like, or maybe it's some high level chess thing I just don't understand. Where they're like, you don't understand, it's not like this, it's like this. I'm like, all right, cool, man. I'm like, it's still the same damn leg lock, isn't it? I'm I'm like, he just got it tighter. So guys are like that, right? So it might take, so remember, that one might not work. It might take 2, 3, 4 different escapes. I might have to, I'm getting out of honey hole, oh shit, now I'm getting out of a different way. Now and then once, you know, what I tell the guys too is like, especially like for our one guy, Gabe, he runs 10th Planet Miami now. And when I first met him, he was like, dude, I can't do leg locks. My knees are messed up and my legs. I'm like, bro, get out of here. I've seen you play in other sports. There's no reason. He was just kind of nervous of the positions. He wanted to get his knee blown out because it happened to him once, right? And then once he rolled with me a million times, and I'm not a great leg locker, but I go for him a lot just for fun, and I'm trying to get better at him too. And then all of a sudden, just like Sid now, like it's hard to leg lock. Some of our blue belts, hard to leg lock them just because they know the positions. So if you don't know the positions yet, some of the shit might be hard. Just go back and really get in touch with the positions, or just get leg locked a bunch. And then when you start seeing the defenses that I taught you and you learn from wherever, all of a sudden you'll be like, oh, if I combine this one with this one and this one, all of a sudden you're just like, you feel like it's like an immunity. You're like out of it. It's like the Matrix. You're just blocking leg locks all day. Then you can start doing shit like this, right? This one we learned from the Rotolo brothers, right? I saw him try to do it at the last Who's Number One. And then, you know, I was like, I don't know why I'm being weird. I'm being all afraid. I'm like, yo, Renee. I tell my other guy, I'm like, Renee, go ask those guys. Because I didn't think maybe they would show me. Maybe they don't want to show me because I'm from 10th Planet or whatever. But Renee's like this big, tall Brazilian guy, right? He's a young guy. And how old is he, man? He's like 25 or whatever. And, you know, he speaks Portuguese too. So I can like, you know, every now and then, Brazilians, I'm like, yo, dude, go talk to me. You know what I mean? But I was like, yo, go ask the Rotolo brothers how they did that move. And he went over and asked them and they showed it. Right, so, and then they put it on, they didn't want Who's Number One to like even video it, so it's like some secret shit, right? But the way they did it was cool. And so this is another back take off it, right? And you have to be comfortable knowing, I feel like those other two. At any point I can bail and go to the one we just did, even if my knee gets stuck in here and I'm like kind of on the way out, you'll see people with both their hands like this and their legs back there. Use your hands and just escape your knee, now I'm out. Right, and then the other one, right, same deal. I went this way, I messed up. I might have to get back up, but I might just have to bail and put that foot in and go from there, right? But once I start feeling comfortable standing here, right, I'm putting my knee on him, right? So I'm not letting my knee turn. JT Torres showed me a version of this too. When you go for the heel hook, if my knee is still stuck in here, generally it's what I just told you never to do, this, right? But since the way his angle is, and he's got such good balance and he has like horse legs, right? And he can stand here and people can't really take him down or sweep him from it, right? So then I'm gonna take my leg. I wanna get this one a little bit out, right? But I'm gonna take my knee and jam it in the crook of the pit of his knee. And then I'm gonna start to turn and it kind of lifts him up here, kind of brings him up on the side of my leg. And then I can start looking for the back take, right? So there's that one spinning back take that we did, right? But this one you get up from under, right? And I didn't know exactly like this. I knew they were doing something. I knew somehow he was getting under the guy. I just didn't know exactly how he was doing it, right? So I might even be keeping my arm, go ahead, keep your leg. Yeah, he's trying to keep his leg up. I walk it back, and I jam my leg in, and then lift him up. All right, so I remember Rotolo brothers for a while. I was watching them, and they were getting heel hooked at ADCC trials and stuff, right? And they went back and they got these good, right? He got his leg lock defense good. Now it's not just he's gonna get leg locked anymore, he might take it back. And that's what he was kind of waiting for. He was just chilling, stepped out of it again. Look how I'm lifting him up too a little bit, and I'm gonna jam my knee under. See how I put it right next to it? Then when I start to turn, I can lift his hips kind of off the mat. And again, I'm not laying here hoping I get his back so he can, I'm up on him here. And I might have to use all my hands to push his leg down, get him up however I have to do it. He might be far away. I might have to lift my body up towards him, or I might have to push him in between my legs. Either way, right? So this one you might want to just do one side, right? This one takes a while to practice too. Even the guys I showed to are like, I'm not getting it right away. Takes a little bit, right? Under and then over. Boom. I get his back. Practice this one like, you know, you might not get it by the end of the day. It might be not too hard, but it's just like any other move. It's just gonna take practice. You're not gonna learn it in 2 seconds and then go and hit it on the guy. Some of you guys are animals, you will be able to do it, but some of you guys might not be able to, right? It took me a little bit, right? I'm just getting it now. Boom. Right? Obviously this looks real easy because practice has moved a million times and I've been doing it with him a bunch. So it looks good, right? So again, I'm turning away, right? And I'm putting my knee like right down on his chest / stomach. So that way he can't really reap me. And I'm not letting that knee, I'm not letting this come all the way over. That would be the problem. So I'm like on the inside. right? If I had to put my hand down, fine, here. I might even have my other arm by his hip. And then I just lift his hips up in the air, right? Boom, pull him down, take his back, right? This does not work if he has an Achilles rip in, right? So Jared, right, he, you know, figured out that if he just holds my leg at all times, I don't want to do this one yet, right? Because what happens is, right, I go here, and now he's got my leg and I'm in this weird spot, right? You can still figure it out. You can still try to get out of here, right? But I wouldn't suggest it. I would wait until he's kind of open. And then a lot of times what happens too is when I'm putting all this pressure on him, he lets go of that Achilles grip anyways, all right? Slide underneath, and pull him up, take his back, all right? Even if you don't get it, who cares? Let's practice for 10 minutes, whatever, and then we'll go on to something else. But like I said, we got it on tape, so I'll be able to send it to all you guys. You just gotta hit me up, all right? 1, 2, 3, let's go. Everybody killed that, right? Now, to get good at those, you gotta practice a lot. Obviously, it's like every other move. Gotta get used to being in single leg X, right? A lot of people at my school like to play leg locks. I feel like, you know, now that we've been around a long time, by the time people get to blue belt, they start getting like a straight ankle lock. They're like, oh, I tapped out some other white belts with a straight. This must be the way to go. This is the path I'm leading now. It can't ever change. I'm just going for leg locks. That's it. That happens to guys, right? And then they're like, you know, just over there studying, like, oh, I got this leg. And then it's fun for me to just, I get out of it all the time. I'm 100-0 versus blue belts and get me in leg locks, right? But some of them, like Sid, he's not here, Jimbo, and some of the Creep, these guys are getting pretty good. And to the point where, since we practice leg locks safely all the time, it's hard for me to get down. Like, I can't just put him in honey hole and get him anymore, right? I can't just straight ankle lock him. They've seen it all. And they got used to it. Same thing happened with Gabe. He just got used to it. Now he's, you know, he's got my mentality though. I'm gonna let people try to go for me in the beginning, play some defense, learn it, and then I want to take their back and choke them out, right? I was telling these guys, I get that guy's back, take me 4 minutes to do it. I might just hold him for a whole minute and a half. I got his back and I just put the body triangle in and just act like I'm going for a rear naked choke, but really I'm not getting leg locked, so, and I feel like he's mad, see? All right, so now the next part, right, we'll switch gears a little bit. This is like part of pretty much my main game. When I'm playing on my back, right? When I was younger, I would do a lot of rubber guard like this, right? We'll do some rubber guard stuff, right? So I have him in full, I would want to get to full guard, and I would want to get this guy broken down, and this would, he'd have both of his arms, and this would be the path that I have to take. I have to get this guy here, get him all the way to here, grab my foot, bring this across, get this, just to get him in a position where I could maybe trap his arms together and then get this dead orchard, right? Sid, really good at dead orchard, right? A lot of guys, really good at dead orchards. Grace, she got a million dead orchard finishes. I don't do that one as much anymore because every time I'm in these positions, especially this one, right? When I'm here like this, or when I'm down here like this, guys are usually stacking me, right? And it puts a lot of pressure on my, I'm really flexible, I feel like, right? Compared to most people, like I can do this shit all the time. So that's why I got into 10 plate in the beginning, but my lower back says no more. Right, I got double scoliosis, and every time I get in these positions when he's stacking me down, the next day I feel like I just tore, like, you ever see, what is that operation where you touch the thing, he goes, eh. That's what it feels like. My whole, this area is lighting up, right? So I don't play that as much anymore, right? I don't really like to play full guard, rubber guard if I don't have to, right? Only if it was like, you know, if I was in a life or death situation, like I said, I'm not competing anymore. Right, but if it was like I had to do it in a fight or something like that, I would do it, right? But I'm sure everyone has their game from full guard. We really like hip bump sweep, go for triangle, you know what I mean? And I've been working a lot of sweeps. Really though, right, and I try to really stress this to our MMA guys, this is more of my game here, right, where the guy's clinching me. Now a lot of times, go back real quick, this is very popular, right, Z-guard, right, I always say it's French, right, Z-guard. But it's not, right? But people call this, people love this shit right here. They love Z-guard because it opens up leg locks, or it's just a way for me to stall and the other guy also to stall. He's like, I'll just sit here and kind of pass, but not really. And this guy's like, I'll just frame him, but not go for anything. That happens a lot. Usually for me, if I'm the top guy, I'm gonna try to stand up, get my leg out of there and pass, right? I like standing and passing. I feel like it keeps me away from the leg locks a little bit. And then I like to try to use a standing pass to either take it back or somehow get to the point where I could get to like a top half position. A lot of people won't take this. I'll sit here and be like, all right, come on, let's see if he takes this top half so I can start putting my butterflies back in so I can play rubber guard from this side. That's what I kind of want to work, this little path, right? like if you guys know who John Jock Machado is, I really look up to him, right? I got my black belt from Eddie Bravo, but you know, because I feel like I had a similar style to his for a long time. But I really adapted a lot of the John Jock stuff because I noticed John Jock is old and he gets away with still shitting on everybody, right? No matter what you do to him, and he does it in such a, you know, really soft, easy way. And one of his ways, and one of the things he talks about a lot, is sweeps. I feel like a lot of people just, if they're on their back, they're going to try to submit the person from the back. They're not really going to try to sweep them as much, right? So the way the submissions come and the way the rubber guard gets set up in my own personal game is from the overhook sweep, right? Now we call this right here, I just have an overhook, right, like this, right? And the way I like to do the overhook is I'm going to go above their elbow as high up as I can, and it's like I'm looking at my wristwatch, but I'm also crunching it in. I'm not just holding his arm, I'm turning his arm in so I have it as tight as possible. John Jock doesn't have all his fingers on his one hand, right? And he's a beast at D and no D. And his D game a lot is like his no D game because he doesn't have hands to grab the D, so he would just hold on with his overhook, right? And there's a lot of moves I could do, right? Some people, especially no D, get slippery, starts pulling his arms out, right? And I start looking for arm drag and stuff, that's cool, right? But my whole game, a lot of times, is prefaced on getting this overhook, sliding underneath the person, and then trying to use that leg to sweep them over, right? And one thing John Jock said about it was really cool, was usually when you sweep someone, they're disoriented for like a couple of seconds, right? We also been working double underpass, where you know, we do the easy double underpass, but the double underpass where you pick him up, duke the guy right on his neck, right? I won't do it to you, right? But this is good for Grace because it's so hard to knee slice. Just go underneath, boom, slam the guy in his head, and then you're on his back. He had a second, he only had like a split second to think like, what the hell just happened to me, right? It's the same thing when you sweep someone. We're working on this sweep, but every sweep is like that. Like if you hit someone with a solid butterfly sweep, every time I see someone hit a butterfly sweep in a competition, I'm like, oh! You ever hear like, boah! Yell that out real loud. If a person hit an overhook sweep, or they hit a butterfly, you sweep somewhere, always leads to something, right? This one JM hit at a, forget what the hell thing it was, and we'll do the stick shift, right? But I always grab the wrist, right? And jam it in if I can, or if his hand's on my knee, or I go for the sweep and his hand's on the mat, just grab it, foot goes down, I roll him, and right on the choke, right? You can find all types of stuff off it. I just want to shore up the sweep a little bit, show you how that leads to the rubber guard, right? So let's just do the sweep, right? We'll start with the overhook, right? I'm in butterfly guard, I have his wrist, right? And I'm gonna go for just a regular overhook sweep. Now Marcelo, he'll sweep you with both of his legs and throw you into the moon with his shit, right? But a lot of times I can't kick the guy over. So when I go to sweep him, I'm gonna fall to my side, right? I have his wrist just for, just to hold on to it for now, makes the sweep easier, right? When I sweep him, right, look how I use my butterfly hook to lift him, but this leg right here stays on the mat, right? And then I'm gonna lift him all the way up, he bases a little bit, and I try to follow him all the way down. I keep the overhook, right? If I stay with it here, short triangle, short, bringing my leg up, going for moves like that. Right, so I feel like sometimes lost art. So we'll go there, then we'll go back in time, and then we'll go into the future. All right, so here, look, I keep that foot down, and I just roll him over, try to take it all the way to top. See how I landed with my foot here? That's fine. Even if he traps my foot, that's fine too, right? I'll take that. That leads into the last thing we'll do, right? So go back. All right, but now I know, 3/4 mount, I know I got it, and then maybe I even have to let go when he goes to bridge. Right, and I'll drop my feet down, right? But this one lets me know that that butterfly hook stayed in the whole time. It was glued. Right, and do one from this side, right? Boom, got his wrist, falling to the side. See how my foot is in, and then lift him, right up on top. MMA, boom, boom, boom. Oh, by the way, you saw that guy? You forgot to tell me when I said that. You said anybody watch UFC this weekend? You guys saw that shit? Stand up real quick. How about this guy? He just pulled the dude right down. He just literally grabbed an overhook, pulled him down, and then he went for an armbar, broke the guy's arm, right? He's running a regular old ass armbar. That was crazy. But then they showed the guy actually tapped, and then he put him in a triangle, and his arm was like, I don't know why, not to go off on a tangent, but I don't know why the UFC makes guys that are injured or really, really fucked up, why do they make them stand there and do the hand thing? He's already hurt. You saw that? Go back and watch it. I'm like, why are they making him? He's hurt. Let him go. You know what I mean? The guy literally has to hold his arm like this in place. And then the guy's like, hey man, good shit. And he's like this. Goes to say like this and his arm goes like this. And then the crowd's like, ugh. I'm like, why do they make him do that? Like, or the guy's like, or do you ever see where they put him on the stool? He doesn't know where he's at, and the other guy's gonna say, UFC, they're messed up with this shit, right? One more here, let me do one more. Right, that's fucked up, right? So anyways, overhook, right? I'm keeping that overhook nice and strong. I got his wrist, right? We don't have to practice this one long, because I just want to see where we're at with that one. All right, we'll do that, and like I said, then we'll go back in time, then we'll hit that, and then we'll go to the future. All right, 1, 2, 3. So, doesn't make sense now, but it will. That was easy. That was just real quick. Make sure we all got the butterfly sweep, right? Again, just remember, especially if you don't like sweeping people, right? I'll play off my back and triangle. When you sweep someone, they will be disoriented for like a split second. And that's your chance to either pass. You could ride them all the way to mount, or try to set up a submission, right? I sweep them. Especially if it's like a wrestler guy, like one of our MMA coach, his name is Zach Makovsky, right? And every time he fought UFC and stuff, every time I sweep him, he don't want to be on his back at all. First thing he wants to do is get up, right? So sometimes I have to take, and this is the whole battle with him, is just him trying to pass my butterflies and me with an overhook, right? And I'll show you the rest of the battle, but then if I do get to sweep him, right, he don't want to stay here at all. So I anticipate this. I know he's like a fish out of water on his back. He don't want to be there. He goes to get up. Right, and then, now I got front headlock, and now I'm to his back, right? That may be a way that I have to go about getting that guy. I want to get everyone's back, right? But that might be a way I have to go about getting it. A little bit different, because I can't just get his back, right? Now, how do I get to that overhook? Right, usually is when someone plays top half on me, right? They have their arms connected, and I like the lockdown from here, right? And the reason why I like the lockdown is because it takes away a little bit of this pressure. Regular half guard is still good too. Any which way I can keep his leg in here. You know, if you have a special way that you're like, I do like to do this X thing, that's cool, right? Whatever way you like. I like this, right? I go over, I hook my leg, and then I hook his foot if I can. And he's gonna wanna be shoulder blocking me. I'm trying to put this down. I might not have it because we're chest to chest, but I have an overhook. I'm prefacing it, right? Then my hand is down here by his knee. Right? If he leaves a big wide gap, like if his knee's over here, then it will be easy. I'll just pull my leg through. I could take him a full guard, or I could try to like sweep him with some shit like this, right? But usually he doesn't leave a big wide gap. Usually his knee's kind of tight. So we're gonna do a move called the stomp. Remember I said we're gonna go back to the future? Because before I put you in the middle, now we're going back, right? Or not back to the future. Back to the past. This is the past. It's the first part of the movie, right? Not the middle. Right, I might be using this lockdown, right? It's called the super stomp. We call this, right? Boom. Eddie Bravo has a name for everything, all right? If you move your wrist in a slight way, there's probably a name for it. Like chemtrails and all this stuff, right? You gotta remember half of it is you have to remember the names, right? So I got the lockdown, using my leg. Even if I have this, doesn't matter, right? I just can't let his leg wide open. He passed. That's bad, right? And I want this leg to be in a butterfly hook. See that? And this one is over top. Now I have his leg trapped. He's going to be using his leg in all sorts of ways to try to get his leg out, right? It's the battle of the knee, right? Can I get my knee out of here, or can he get his knee out? If he does what you'll see in MMA a lot, right? Grabs his foot in, brings his leg up, he's got an underhook here, I'm done, and he passes, right? Or they take it to mount or something, right? So I don't want that to happen either. So I switch my legs, said that, I was up here on this side, switch it. All right, now I even got his leg up in the air, even better. My other hand, he calls this a pimp hand, is down by his knee, right? Pimp hand is strong, that's what he says in my arm. All right, now I gotta get my knee out of here. All right, how I'm gonna just use that like a butterfly, like I'm using that butterfly hook and using my leg, right, to try to shake it through. Now I got both. Now from here, usually the guy doesn't just, if he keeps going forward on me, then I'll be able to sweep this guy over his head. Most of the time they try to run a little bit. All right, so we'll do it from this angle. All right, it's not a complicated move, it's just weird with the legs. Once you figure out lockdown, it's like riding a bike, you'll never forget. Boom, all right? I just don't want to do this. So, fumble, all right? All right, I'm keeping this knee away, and I'm already looking, I already know I want an overhook. I don't have it yet. This will be terrible, all right? Sometimes people do this, but then, now I'm in an arm triangle, that's bad, all right? So here, put that hook in, and I'm moving him this way and using that leg, bang. Now when he goes to pull away, my hand grabs underneath and I sit up with him. Right, see how I'm already in the butterfly hook sweep position? That's where I'm gonna be, then I'll just go for his wrist, and then I'll try to sweep him. If he sits back, see how he sits back? Real hard just to lift him up. I just give him a little scoot underneath, and then launch that guy, and try to follow him all the way up, right? I should have kept my leg with him, right? So I might be here like this. I'm like, please, take this. Oh, nice. Now I got him. Boom, up on top. Right? That's really what I'm looking for. And then I'll show you, we'll work on how that pertains to playing rubber guard. All right, let's begin. All right, so you see my feet, right? Got the lockdown in, right? He might even be putting a butterfly hook in himself, right? You're gonna have this battle. Shit's gonna happen. I'm gonna have to fight with his feet here, right? And I got that butterfly hook and now I'm feeling good. I mean, I'm not feeling good. He's got his chip, you know, this isn't great. It's not like I'm having a party down here, but once I get to here, good news, right? Maybe take full guard, no, sit up. And then from here, I think the biggest thing that I learned from John Jock on these sweeps is when the guy sits his ass back. Now I feel like if I just went for the sweep, trying to lift him would be impossible. But I just pull myself a little bit underneath and I use that heel on the mat. And then now I don't care how hard he sits back, I'm gonna get the flow. And then I get up on top. This would be awesome right here. Good douche. All right, one more time. All right, so he's got a strong top half. I'm holding him away. That's a move right there. If I can get up on top of that, I feel like I'm gonna do real good. All right, let's try. 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Doing good on time. Then we got something called a stomp. We call it a stomp, right? Just stomp on the foot if you have to, or like I don't even do it anymore, even though I still call it the stomp. You just flip my legs up. I feel like, Sid, in MMA, this is why this is a big position, right? Because, go your down, right? Like C-guard in Jiu-Jitsu is cool, right? Because the other guy can't hit you, right? In MMA, the reason why there's not a lot of this is because there's punching and hitting involved, right? CJJ, you'll see it a lot, like the combat jiu-jitsu. You'll see guys chill here a lot, but the one guy who's been training with us, Dave Weintraub, he never wears a shirt. He looks like he's got real long hair, he's crazy. He bloodied the shit out of that guy. And the guy just was cool with sitting here and backslapping him and stuff, right? And he was just like throwing some palm heels down. The guy just ate it on the ground and he would try to dive for his leg. This just happened to the one girl too that was training, did her MMA camp with us, Brittany Elkin. She just fought Clarissa Shields in PFL, the best boxer of all time. Brittany was beating her ass in the first 2 rounds, but just went for an armbar and missed. Right, I don't know what happened there. And then the last round, she just got clipped a little bit and then just kind of got stuck in this position. And the girl just kept hitting her. You know, Brittany did a great job. She had her mount. You know what I mean? She was beating her ass. So it was an awesome fight. But that's why you don't see that like this. You see more in like this because there's punching involved, right? You're not going to be able to hit from the bottom like this and be very. I mean, although actually that did happen. I shouldn't even say that. Anything can happen. Generally, though, as a general rule, you're not going to chill there. You'll be like throwing underhooks and trying to get up, and people are going for your neck, right? So the reason this is why this is typical MMA, right? GSP, you just get down here in half guard, try to beat people up, and it's hard to just get underhooks, right? Show them an electric chair real quick, right? This is one route that we like to do to plan it. Like sometimes I feel like a lost art. Guys won't go for electric chair anymore. I don't know why. You can. Some dudes you can tap them here if they have just really complete crap flexibility, right? But most people they won't. They'll just roll over and then you get the sweep, right? Grace does this to a lot of people. She'll sweep them past, right? So this game right here, like you really got to get someone to get in there, right? Sometimes I have to like kind of bait him a little bit. Like let me, boom, right? And then he takes this top half and he's trying to pass and I'm like perfect. Right where I wanted him, kind of, right? Now I'm the guy on the bottom, right? So go ahead, flip the legs, right? Boom, he's got here, right? And then once he, I might do one of these bad boys, he's got to get that knee out. You guys killed it with the sweep. Everybody sweeps so good in here, you can tell you guys practice that type of shit, right? Sometimes I go, I'm like, damn, I've never seen a sweep before, right? But here, right, sometimes if the guy, like we, in PA, we have a lot of really strong wrestler guys, and they're hard to sweep, right? They would sit up, even with that sit in, even though I didn't learn that long, they would just chill here and just frame your neck, put their head in here, just hold on to you, and you can't even get your full guard, and it's really tough to sweep them. And I feel like some of the guys, or they're a little bit bigger than me, like, and there's guys that I'm just never gonna be in a top position on, right, unless they give it to me, right? Some strong MMA guy, impossible, right? You roll with JT Torres, he's not gonna let you pass his guard unless he allows you to, right? If not, he's gonna be on top, smashing your face in and tapping you out, right? So you're forced to play the bottom game. This is when you're forced to play, right? If I could sweep him, cool, right? I'll take the sweep. That would be the easiest situation, right? So start back from here. We got the lockdown. We flip the legs. I battle this in, and we get stuck in this kind of halfway position. Even if he sits me all the way up, and I know I can't sweep him, but it's like pro wrestling. I'm still selling the sweep. I'm always like, dude, I'm gonna go for it, even though I'm not gonna go for it. I know it's too tough. And then look, this leg is gonna flip out, and then it's gonna swing all the way up, and I'm gonna try to catch it with my hand right over here, right? Now I'm in a solid position. You might not be able to get it all the way over, yet you might have to go to like one of these, right? And I'll show you, I'll come around. If you can't get to here, that's fine, right? I know a lot of guys who have really short legs, right? Like Mike Ortiz are one guy, his legs are like gnome legs, he ain't doing shit like this, right? But I'll show him instead of grabbing like this, he might just get both of them and just be able to hold here, move away, and just shove your leg over the head and start looking for omoplata, right? That might be a thing, right? For me, this works out perfect. That first part, if I'm in this situation right here, I'm looking to try to sweep this guy. It's not working. Bang, I just throw my leg up. Now from here, I can start to work these moves, right? It seems like you need really good flexibility, but if I was flat on my back here, I would really need to have it, right? To be able to do this type of move, right? But when I'm here on my side, it's not as hard anymore. See, I'm all the way on my right hip, my left ass cheek. Everybody can just right here, right? It's wide open, look. And then look, I could turn, look, I make my body away, right? Framing his neck, and then I grab my leg, I can start looking for the chokes, or you can just simply push away and just start looking for an omoplata, right? Beauty about the omoplata is, most of the time, right, people will try to roll out of this. If I can't get a hold of him and he rolls, and I can even land on top, that's as good as a guard pass right there, right? You sweep him, that might be another way. Maybe it's too hard to butterfly sweep this guy. He wrestled at Cookstown or some crazy place in Pennsylvania, and he's a strong wrestler. Maybe you sweep him, maybe you can't. Maybe you have to play up or back. If you can get this guy to roll, if you can get to start playing some rubber guard, who knows? Maybe some of you guys are ridiculously flexible and you don't even know it. All right, boom. Leg comes through the middle. I'm holding him. See, I keep the overhook. I never let it go. I'm gonna scoop myself out if I have to, and my leg comes all the way up here, and I just grab a hold of it. I like to keep, some people will keep this overhook, that's fine. Move him over, push his head, leg comes in front. And there's so many submissions. You can go on for days with ones that they've made up, where I put my foot in here, I get his arm, pull this off, right? That's actually a choke. There's so many different moves. But most of the time, right, I let people just figure out what they're gonna do, what they like to do from there. Everybody does a little bit different. Most of the time, I just tell them, go for omoplata, right? The omoplata is always gonna be there for you. It's not your number one move, but it'll be there at the end. Like, you mess up everything up, you juggle up rubber guard, as long as you kept that in, you hit that omoplata, the guy rolls, you get a pass, right? So, top half, right? You're getting back to your butterfly. I'm kind of going out halfway, but still staying in. He gets out to his hip. Bang, what do you like to do from here? What do you usually do? Oh, he goes for gogoplata? Yeah, this sucks, right? Like, some people can't do this shit, right? I don't even go for that, right? But if all else fails, you'll get your omoplata, and you're gonna get some type of whatever you like to do from there. So we've been working on a lot, just grabbing a hold of their face and getting a hold of them here, right? And then guy trying to get out of here, that always, even if they get their arm out, right? Even if they get my arm out, right? You probably tap me there, but then you'll get the back off that omoplata, right? So it's just another way about going on top, right? One more. If you're real crazy, it'd be like that guy Jeremiah Vance. If you ever seen him, he'll get to here and just throw his leg all the way over. Just get right on the person's neck. This is real good too. Omoplata, or this gogoplata situation where I get my foot and pull him over. Now I'm up on top. There's a lot of crazy shit. You just go for an arm bar, all types of stuff. So, all right, let's try it. 1, 2, 3. Rubber guard. Okay, right? That takes a lot of drilling to be able to start being comfortable playing rubber guard, right? One thing I will say too, like me and Mike were just talking one time, at like the first time we hold this tournament called the Finishers Tournament. Some of you guys have seen it. The first ever Finishers Tournament, Mike won the 155, right? Was that what it was? Hell yeah! Stupid and all that. He probably, I know he cares about it, but I care about it more because it was like a tournament we started, and like he won the one, and then Gordon Ryan won the other division, and like it just got, it's cool because it's like I treat it like it's pro wrestling, so it's like the big history of it. You know, like putting out all those documentaries on Bret the Hitman Hart, same thing, right? They're gonna do Finishers documentaries one time, but he was going against another buddy of mine, Mike Padilla. Padilla was laying flat on his back, right? He's got crazy flexibility too, and he's like one of those guys. There's a couple rubber guard player kind of guys that are like more, they'll just chill a little bit and they won't go too crazy. Then there's other guys like Jeremiah and Mike is one of them that are just, they're like just the hell with it, that rubber guard guys. They're just like, they don't care what it is, they're just gonna grab their leg and ram it into the dude's neck. And you're like, he's not gonna go for this. And I'm like, oh, he's going for it. And he was holding his leg, and then what happened? You were trying to pass over here,
driving towards his knee.
And then his leg just went boom, and just popped. And he was like, oh shit, that was my knee. And they were like having a conversation about it. And I was like reffing the match. I was like, Because like usually when your leg explodes, like dudes go, ah! And I think it happened to a guy in that tournament too. When you yell out, it's over. You can't yell out. And he didn't yell. He just was all calm. Like, you heard that shit? My knee just exploded. So that's why that's another reason why I won't play flat on my back. I'm always on my side. And like I said, Sid, there's a million different routes you can take from this once you get to here, if you can get there. If you can get here, or you can get to here on my side where I'm putting my pressure down and bring my leg, that's like this is more of the rubber guard, Eddie Bravo style, right? But see how I'm angled? I'm always angled. And when I'm going to flip my leg over, like Sid, some guys, they don't have, tendons in their leg. If I'm flat on my back, if he turns me flat, like if he turns me all the way flat like this, now it's going to be impossible to ram. Some people still, they're like, I don't care. You know what I mean? I won't do that. Usually when he does this, I'll try to sweep him back the other way and just go take the easy way out, right? But if I am here and he steps over my knee, he jumps over my leg, then it's time to let this go. This is where you'll see dudes like, right? Just let that shit go, man. Go back to butterfly, sit him back up, and then go back to your game again. You might have to do that 2-3 times, Just squeezing too much, right? You might have to go back. So, last thing, right? We won't practice this, but just so you know, my knee, look, it's always same with, a lot of this is common, like same with the leg locks. It's all about the knee line. Is your knee in there, right? Guys, knee line, watch his knee line, bring the leg out, right? It's my knee one, battle the knees. I sit him up, I get him to here, I'm on my side. Hopefully if my leg is trapped, right? My leg is trapped right here. This is funny too, you guys might get a kick out of this. Eddie calls this position New Jersey, right here, because the leg is trapped. Now I like playing from this position, right? But he would be like, oh, you're stuck in New Jersey. And then if your leg was out here, now you're in New York. He's like, woo, we're in New York. It's all good. And then the guy steps over the leg, and he's like, oh shit, wrong turn, Jersey. I don't know why. He likes saying that. He's like, I don't like Jersey. He must not like Jersey.
Yeah, because he thinks New Jersey sucks.
Yeah, dude. But even though Joey Diaz is from Jersey, I don't know, he always took that shit. But anyways, if he steps over that knee, that's time to go back to butterfly. That's time to go back to put that butterfly hook back in, sit him back up, try to go for that sweep, right? Don't hold on to it too long, all right? Sometimes the right move is the wrong move at the wrong time, you know what I mean? Like if you're going for it, it looks like it should be working because you got that overhook, but your knee is out of there. Just reset. You can always reset and start back over. Last thing I want to show you guys, right, has probably been my best submission, right, that I've worked on, right? I used to always like going for triangles. I used to mess that up sometimes. Right? Rear naked choke obviously is a good one. A lot of guys could show that probably better than me. But I've been working on this arm triangle that I've been killing people with, right? Sometimes bigger guys, like especially with my neck being all sore and old and stuff, bigger guys, it's hard to finish because they're just strong, they can just rip out, right? And I'll show you how they rip out, but I think I figured a way to hold them down a little bit more, right? So however you want to set up your arm triangle, man, I really like getting in here and pulling this out and then getting this, the chopping, we call this the chopping block. He's almost dead. If I'm like real tired, Sid will tell you, especially if we're doing a 10-minute round, if I can get him here, I might just hold him here for like 3 minutes. Just try to catch my breath. I'm like, woo, I'm tired, right? And especially if I get here and I get up to a higher mount, it's gonna be even easier to hold them down. So however you get it, some people have different setups for it, right? This was one, right, where I have this thing, I'll go and grab from my chair, and I'm doing one of these, you guys know this move where we roll through. Same thing, I get it nice and tight and try to find that arm triangle. So however you're gonna set your arm triangle up, it might be from just like this, leaving my head down. When I go to finish it, a lot of people like the gable grip, and then some people like this one, right? I want you to today try the S grip, right? I'm like an S grip salesman, right? I always like this, right? Just for this, not every position, right? Different grips and stuff for different positions, but I like the S grip on this one because of the angle I can get, and it's less me squeezing them, and it's more me creating an angle, right? So instead of squeezing this guy and putting as much pressure in, right? I'm gonna grab onto my S grip. If he's flat like this, I'm gonna try to catch him with this hook. See, I'm going in, I'm not over, I'm going in on this one and hooking high on his knee, all right? And then I'm gonna try to get my head down. Most of the time I see when people are not doing the arm triangle, they're going for it, they're like, I don't know why I'm not getting him. Because you're blasting his chin out. Yeah, it might be uncomfortable, But anybody who's really good, they're not gonna tap to it unless they're ready to be put to sleep, right? You're gonna really have to get them, right? So I'm gonna get low, I'm gonna pull on this like I'm pulling a zip tie, and then I'm gonna drop my hips, but look how I'm angling this out, and I'm coming around like a half moon, and I drop to my hip. Some people call this like the hangman arm triangle, right? I don't know what you wanna call it, but I feel like getting on my side and coming around like this is making it really tight, right? And I've had to work on this a lot with Grace because she was getting here and getting a lot of people. And I think because some of the women she was fighting, they have really skinny necks. It's not like some big dude with a huge neck, right? Where you can't find the exact position, right? And arms were real skinny. So she had to get real tight. So even this one right here with just her head wasn't enough. This one right here, she was getting it tight, but felt like more cranking the neck. Once we got to here with the S grip and she actually believed in Uncle Zach, we started getting some finishes right here. And I'm just angling to the side. It's hard for him to get out too. And the reason why I don't like going all the way out to here, right, is because a lot of times dudes can push their arm back into me and just beast out, right? And if he rolls up like this, someone just did this over the weekend, right? Then you're in this weird back take. I kind of have a Kimura situation. And I would rather just keep him down. So how can you keep that dude down, right? And that's with that leg on the side. So set it up however you want, boom, boom, right, boom. And then S grip, and look how I'm pulling this piece tight. If I feel like I go for it, I'm up too high. You feel it, Sid, how I'm on your chin, right? It's too high. I'm gonna be like, you're too high, right? You gotta get down lower and then angle to the side. Look how, because of the way I'm bending him, I'm bending his head this way at the same time, keeping his body out. It's like a whole crinkled up situation. Then from there, I just keep moving, and it's very hard for him to roll out. I don't want to tap you a million times, all right? So let's go back to your partner and give that a try. Look, without him, I'm like this, right? Head is to the side, I have his leg hooked, and then I just angle and then drop that opposite hip. Makes it really tight. All right, let's see if we can get it. 1, 2, 3. Yeah. Where you at, my guy? All right, last thing, right? And then like I said, that's probably my best submission right now, is just an arm triangle. But still people get out of it, big guys get out of it, strong people, or just I don't have the right angle, or I'm tired, right? But most submissions work when the other guy's tired, right? If he's tired, you know, you're gonna finish him off. This is a good one, right? Sometimes arm bars, dudes will just forget, you know what I mean? But chokes, right? Even you get a leg lock and dude just won't tap. You get a guy in the room just as like, you're watching, you're like, oh Jesus, tap, dude. But chokes, no, right? Chokes, if you got it right, they're going to sleep, right? I've had people have me in this half guard position, and I have this, and somehow they got me to there, and just with that angle, I can still get the tap. Some people just, I can get them. Some people are just super tough. Like we got one guy, they call him, what's his name, BBC?
Yeah.
Bluebell Colin, because there's a lot of Collins. They call him BBC. I don't know who came up with that. Bluebelts take a beating from other bluebelts is what it is. They're like, yeah, it's BBC. I'm like, who the hell is that? Like for a while, I thought it was like a guy from another school, like some MMA guy. I'm like, I don't know. They're like, yeah, he's tough to choke. I'm like, damn, he's tough to choke. Who is this guy? But he is though. Colin is real tough. Like I put him in the same arm triangle, and we're doing like 10-minute rounds and shit. I went one round with Sid. I go with him. I'm like, dude, I'm getting tired. And if I blow my gasket right on that arm triangle with like 3 minutes in, yeah, I might have to just get here like this, and he's got me in a lockdown. I'm gonna have to just get here and stall. I'm gonna have to just be like, all right, we're chilling here for a little bit. I just hold him until I regain my energy and my forearms stop burning off, right? Because sometimes I'll get this and you just don't have it right or whatever, and I can't finish them. So the more you practice it and the more you do go 100%, I feel like going further, because in training it doesn't matter. I feel like if you go for the arm triangle 100% and you burn your arms out, who cares? Then you can just relax a little bit, right? And try to like regain your energy, try to, you know, power up again, right? But the more you do that, it's kind of like in lifting when you like go for that. Now they say the strength and conditioning guys, some guys will say don't do this, but you go to like the last one where you do one more. What do they call that in lifting? Where you go one, you're like, you gotta go till you quit or whatever.
Till failure.
Yeah, to failure, yeah. Why can't I say that? You go to quit, right? You go to failure. There's some guys will say don't do that, but I feel like that's how I have to do it. It's like an isometric type thing where like sometimes our guy Brian will have us grab a ball and just put an S grip on, I put my head next to it, and he's like, ready, 30 seconds, go. And you're just like, trying to breathe. That's how it is. Because like when you go for the arm triangle, it's, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're gonna go all the way to 10, try to choke this guy unconscious. And if it doesn't work and you put everything into it, you might get tired. All right, that's what I tell the guys competing. You might get tired, so you might have to stall them a little bit, get your arms back, right? But the more you do that, the more you'll get better at that hold and be able to hold it longer and be stronger with it. And then also you'll really learn the ins and outs of it. Then you'll figure out what works best for you, right? I tell you do an S grip right now, but that doesn't mean that's the best way. You might like this, or you might have like some weird wrists that don't do that. You know, like guys are like, well, you know how everyone has a different guillotine? Like, well, this guy does like this, Marcel does like that, well, this guy does like, you're gonna figure out whatever is your best guillotine. Same with this arm triangle, right? But the last thing with it, right, last move we'll practice, if I am here, right, and let's say I get to this and dudes are like, I'm gonna just go until, and if I can't pass them out, maybe they use their arm and get that leg out of there, right? And then they start pushing my leg off because they know they wanna get to this. So when he goes to turn, away, right, I'm just gonna slide my arm up into the rear naked choke, and then my left leg goes behind his head. Now it's gonna make it hard for him to roll away, right? And then from here, I can't throw my leg up and take his back, but now I have this side arm triangle, right, but with this grip, right? And then from here, I just squeeze the shit out of him, right? Some people feel like that's tighter, right? He might wanna go the other way, like, you know, going into you might be tough. Sometimes people turn away. Like I said, that's one. If I'm here, you know, like, and he does that roll sideways or goes backwards, right? Do that backwards roll, right? And then I try to hold him. I've gotten to this before, and I've gotten here, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get him. You know, maybe if you have unbelievable squeeze, but maybe not, right? So again, we're just in the arm triangle position. He pushes my leg off. Boom, he goes to get away. I just throw this rear naked choke in. My shin goes behind his back, and then my other leg goes over top. And then I just, you know, this one is just a full on 100%, all systems go, squeeze, and bending his neck at the same time, right? I don't know who said it, but they said every choke they do, they're like, was that a choke or a crank? And he's like, every choke I do is a crank. And they're like, oh, good point, right? So when you're holding him, you're squeezing him for the choke, but I'm also cranking his neck at the same time. Because, you know, jiu-jitsu's the art of gentleness, right? But when you get that, I'm popping his head off with that piece, right? Especially if you tried to leg lock me or something, right? But yeah, I'm getting him to the side, all right? So that's the last move we'll practice, right? And then I think we're close to like 9 o'clock. I know some of you guys, if you have to go, we could roll or whatever. All right, but you know, that a lot of you guys did great with that arm triangle. Just remember, it's not always gonna go right off. You might have to like feel the guy out a little bit. You might have to beat him up a little bit and then finish him with that arm triangle, right? But this is a good option if he turns, because some people just aren't gonna have that. So he turns, lop that piece up, shin in the back, leg over top. All right, last one. Let's go. You guys are killing it. Killing it. Like I crushed the hashish, man. That one, 50 cents. I used to listen to this back in the day.
Let's just take a class pick.
Yes.
And then you guys can do some rounds if you're able to stick around.
Hell yeah. Oh, also too, guys, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. Like, you know, for me, this is like, I love doing this. Like, if you guys run, you know, some of you guys run schools that are here, like, it's nothing cooler than going and sharing some of your best moves with other people. And not only are you sharing the mats with them and then rolling and stuff and learning from each other, but it's like you're listening to what I say. Like, some of the guys at the school don't even listen to what I say. You know what I mean? No, Zach, he's just talking shit. You're like, no, I'm trying to help you. And you're like, yeah, asking me questions, like, that means a lot to me. You know what I mean? I'm out, and this stuff helps me out because, like, we're filming it, you know, we'll give it to all you guys. And if it helps you in any way, like, I'm proud. And also, too, like, my wife is, like, 39 more days, so I'm having a baby, so this helps out a lot. Pumped to be a dad. It's a little boy, too. I'm gonna name him Lorenzo. I can't wait. He's gonna be, like, you know, -1 already, and he's doing jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? I got him out there. I'm like, he's gonna do it. Mark's like, I don't know if he's gonna train. I'm like, oh, he's training. It doesn't matter. He's gotta train. Even if he doesn't want to, he has to do it anyways. But, you know, like I said, this helps me out, and I really appreciate you guys. So thank you guys for having me through. Oh, you guys are welcome to come down to our spot anytime, man. Come down, visit the spot. You know, where do you guys want to do it?
Yeah, I guess I could do it.
Yeah, where.